Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Blue Dove Marketing and Vendor of the Day. Today, I am going to be speaking with Erin. Is it Lukey? Am I saying your name correct,
Yep.
Erin? Wonderful. Erin Lukey of Common Sense. She started her own company, and we're really super excited about this. Hello, Erin. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so happy that you're here with us. That's for sure. Um, to start out with, why don't you just tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. So my Monday through Friday job, I'm a quality assurance manager in a pharmaceutical company.
Oh,
Um, so during the pandemic, they've actually had us working from home for over a year now. So from being around people 24 hours a day pretty much to sitting in my house by myself, I needed to find a hobby. So I didn't, go nuts in here. So I started Common Sense as a hobby. I was just making soaps and candles and things like that. It was more of a mental outlet for me. I've been going through the past year and a half, sobriety and things like that. So I've been trying to find, like, I kind of look at like I have a second chance at life. So I'm trying to find things that, like, I have no idea what my hobbies were, what my passions were. It was kind of like starting over. So I was trying to find something that interested me, like, I love my job, my Monday through Friday job, but I don't have that passion in there.
sure.
Um, so I was kind of looking for things, and I actually started doing the candles, the soaps, and I actually was doing resin pours. I was very bad at resin pours, so that didn't last long.
Okay.
Um, I just couldn't figure it out.
You gotta find
Um,
what's good for you.
yeah, yeah. And then so I started doing the candles and soaps as kind of just like a mental outlet, just to, when I had a break from work, I would go in the other room and just kind of, I could shut my mind off and kind of just enjoy myself. And then I really enjoyed, like, I really loved it. And I was selling it to friends and family. And that's all I really ever wanted for it in the beginning. And some I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and some woman contacted me and wanted to sell it in her store, which was like a country store, like a small little store. And I had I didn't have a name. Common Sense didn't exist at that point. I had no idea what I was doing. Um, and so I had sold her some, and she put them in her store. And my fiance, actually, I'll say, came up with the name. I can't take credit for that. Everyone tells me to take credit for it, but I just can't. So yeah, I mean, I did a lot of trial and error. Unfortunately, my friends and family were my guinea pigs, and it took me a
That's what
while
they're
to
there
get.
for.
Yeah, it took me a while to get my scents right and the containers right and like the
Oh,
right size wick, because it's just like a lot more to it than what I realized.
you know,
Um,
nobody would know this. You know what I'm saying? So this is really, really good to know. Now, you did mention sobriety. And I want to go back to that for a moment, how important that is during this past year, almost year and a half, that people have been cut off from like everything, and how important it is that you found yourself a hobby to begin with to kind of keep you busy and keep you on track. I mean, if you just talk about that for a moment, because there are so many people out there battling with this uh, particular thing.
Yeah, I mean, a part of it, and it's not a part of my business, but a big part of what kind of went hand in hand with my business was, I published a couple books, and they're on sobriety. And what I wanted to do originally when I was selling the candles and stuff to friends and family, it was a lot of the people in like the AA community and things, but the books and everything too. I wanted to help people. I wanted to put everything out there. So my sobriety is the first and most important thing to me over anything. I mean, I will leave everything in a heartbeat if it was to jeopardize that. And I've written my entire life the rawest, most personal details in books to help people. I've incorporated my companies in there, all that. And
Do you
and
have those books available right now that you'll be able
mhm.
to show them? If you could show them, because you know what, this is what this is for. If you have them available, let's.
Yeah, I can. I have to go into a different room with you, but
That's fine. Yeah,
okay.
you can leave us here
Um,
if you'd like.
yeah. So just bear with me one second.
I had no idea you were an author. That's wonderful.
Yeah. Yep. Turn the light on. Wasn't ready for that. So, Oh,
Not to
okay.
catch people off guard. You know, it makes it more natural and more, hey, what life is all about, right? Curveballs.
I guess it's good that I had to call in on my phone so then I could go in the other room. So, let me put this back down. The first book that I wrote was it's called Hang On Pain Ends,
Oh,
and it's basically about my life and why I decided to get sober. So there's a lot of really personal, um, just a lot of traumas, things like that. Just a lot of things that I want to mention that because it might trigger somebody by reading it. But I feel like when you first get sober, you feel alone, and you don't like. I was sober for a few months before I went into AA, so I had no idea what I was doing. So when I started writing the book, I was just on my own. Um, so I find that like maybe people can read that and relate to it. I know when I first got sober, I went on Amazon and bought, I think, maybe like 20 self-help books, like people's books that they wrote like this. And there's a woman, Sarah Ordo, who is my inspiration. I mailed her my first book, and she cried. And she inspired me. She showed me that you can be a complete mess and turn your life around, and what at that point when I wrote this book, I had no idea my life would be where it is right now. I looked at her life and I'm like, I don't know how she did that, but I'll try. And, looking at it now, I'm where she was when I wrote this book. So, and then I wrote a second book, which is this one, and it's called Sobriety During a Pandemic.
oh, wow. Look
And,
at you just pumping out those books.
and then it's basically just, it documents my entire first year. Um, which is helpful for people because there's a lot of questions that people have, that you don't have anyone to ask, or people, even if you're in like some type of like smart program or a program, like a lot of the people that are in there for a while don't think to tell you these things, because they've been around for so long. So I kind of tried to incorporate every single month that I was sober, I would write more in the book, to kind of like a recap of the things I faced and the questions I had. So that's really what my books are. I'm in the middle of writing a third book, which is about mental illness and sobriety, because I found that through sobriety I had mental illness. So that is kind of documenting some of that stuff, to try to,
Yeah.
help other people.
Generally, that's why people turn to alcohol and drugs is actually for self-medication,
Hmm.
self-medicate. And I'm very, very familiar with this as it's been all over my family. So you really hit a chord, with me as being on the outside, as one having to deal with parents that are alcoholics, and children who are drug addicts. So, it hits a chord. So this is actually very helpful. Now, are these books available for
Yep,
people to buy? Where
they're
would they be able to buy them?
they're on Amazon.
On
They
Amazon. Guys,
Yep.
this is amazing.
So if you pop my name in, they'll come up.
That's wonderful. That's
But
wonderful.
I found that dealing with mental illness was harder than dealing with my first year of sobriety.
Mhm.
So that's why I really felt inspired to write a book on it, because it's been the hardest thing I've ever had to go through. So
It's just realizing it, I
yeah,
guess is really takes its soul and go, wow, oh, okay, that's the problem here. So it's not actually the alcohol that was the problem. It's
yeah,
actually,
exactly.
yeah.
So
Oh,
and it kind of fits nicely with my business too, because they went hand in hand. Like I was writing a book and starting my business, side by side. Um, because everything stems back to the sobriety. I wouldn't have any of this. I wouldn't have my company. I wouldn't have my fiance, the life I have now, if I hadn't gotten sober. So it all goes back to the same place.
that's wonderful. Now tell us a little bit more about this hobby that became your business. Go ahead.
Yeah. So
That's
um,
great.
I did trial and error, and then I finally really peaked as a business last, I want to say October or November, Christmas time. I discovered the online vendor event community, and I started doing that, and I again had no idea what I was doing in the beginning, and I enjoyed them. I thought they were fun. I needed to learn self control because I was buying a little too many things from other people, but it was a good way to get myself out there,
Does happen.
and yeah, And it was a good way to get myself out there and try to start getting out of the hole that I, financially had dug in. Cause, you have to invest a lot into a business, right? So, um, in the past, I want to say in October, I filed for as an LLC. Um, that was mainly more for tax purposes, but I actually have since then put goals together for myself. I especially Q2 this past couple weeks, I've really written short term, long term goals, where I want to see my business. I finally like really made the decision that I want to grow it. I was unsure because going from a hobby to a business that took off, it kind of took off overnight. That I didn't know what to do. At Christmas, I must have bought all the stock they had on Amazon because I was afraid I was going to run out. So I had a whole closet filled to the top with candle tins and anything, that I was afraid I'd run out, and that was expensive. um,
Oh, yeah. But
yeah.
that's all a tax write-off, so that's good.
Yes.
That it's good and bad kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Bad, you had to spend the money, but good, you kinda use it for that. So here's the do you have anything handy that you might be able to show us?
Yeah. I'll go back into my little handy room that
Yeah,
I
another
just had.
curveball. Yeah.
Um,
We'd love to see what you do, absolutely.
yeah. So one of the most recent things that I decided, in growing my business is I'm starting to get into the wedding industry.
Oh,
Um, I,
wow.
yeah, I think that, my whole life I've always wanted to be a wedding planner, which is something that was always just something I wanted that it was never going to happen. And the fact that I have the opportunity now to get into the industry kind of makes me feel like I'm helping people on that end too. So, I mean, I kind of just, that's kind of, I don't want to say motto because that's not something I would say, but that's kind of my drive is helping other people, whether it be through books, through like now wedding, I can help brides and things like that. Um, so I don't really have, I make things to order.
Okay.
Um, but I do make my soaps and I stock them. And these are my soaps. I don't know if you can see them because of the light.
Bring them we can see it, there
Um,
we go. Oh, okay. Yep, a
yep.
little closer.
I'm trying to get out of the light a little bit. It's
There we
hard
go.
with the phone.
Right there, almost, yes, there we go. Common
Yep.
sense. Got it. I love it.
Yeah. So that's made with goat's milk soap. Um, and I carry about 30 different scents, but I've made the decision that in April, not April, May, I'm going to drop down to 5 soap scents and 10 candle scents, just because I want to change my packaging and improve it, and I want to be able to print the scents on the labels, and I just can't do that with 30 different scents. So I had to
It
make a
gets a little
decision.
bit much, right? For sure,
Yeah, yeah.
sure. This is
Um,
wonderful.
I mean, I can show you like I'll just show you my empty. They're weird. It's empty, but you'll still be able to get the gist. So my smallest candle, I just started making these for weddings. So, oh my gosh. So they're only 3 ounces. They're
Okay.
like it looks bigger in the camera, but they're awfully small, which are good because then I'm trying to get into where like when you go to a wedding and they have the candle at the table for each place setting. So I thought that would be a
Yes.
good size. And then I
That's
have
the little party
these,
paper. Mhm.
which are 6 ounce.
Okay.
I do 5 different sizes, and I do completely different candles for each size. So that way there's a variety. Um, and then I have my glass ones, which like I'll put some twine on the front with a little tag. And these are the ones I started with. These are my babies. These are my
The
my
little
eight
kid
ounce
tins.
tins.
And
Yeah,
how many ounces are those?
8.
8 ounces. Okay. And
And
these are all
then
on a website, Erin?
yeah. I have a Etsy. I have a website. This is my last one. Oh, this is 12 ounces.
Okay.
Um, haven't really gotten too many of those because they're kind of large, but um, and then I also got into making wax melts, and um, so the cups, they kind of look like Jello cups, Jello shot cups, and also if you know Scentsy at all, that type of a bar where you break off the little
Yes.
cubes. I also make those.
Look at
So
you. Oh, this
yeah,
is wonderful. I'm so glad we had this. I'm so glad we did this. What I want to do is want to get your website in. Bear with me one second because I'm going to bring it up and
yeah.
put it right in the conversation
Go
because
back
it'll
into the
allow me to
quiet
pin
room.
it then.
Sure.
All right, go ahead. What is your website?
It is www
Mhm.
dot commonsensellc.com.
Easy.
And
Easy,
my
so
Etsy is the
great.
same. My Etsy is commonsensellc.etsy.com. So they're pretty easy.
Unfortunately, you're going to hear me talking probably. I don't know. Here we go.
And I just added some stuff to the website too. I'm learning how to become a pro at a website, which is a first for me. I added, wedding links and a gift certificate link. That's my newest thing, is a gift certificate. I had some made, and
I'm definitely going to be checking this out. I'm definitely checking this out for sure. So,
so I mean, I created a lot of work for myself, but
well, that's what it's all
it's what I
about, though.
want.
You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, I think that's what you have to do when you first start out, is you have to work really hard to get into a good place. I mean, if I get into a situation where I get too big, I can just get help. So it's not
Yes.
the end of the world.
You're already in a store. You are a published author, absolutely, obviously. So we can get your books on Amazon. Geez, is there anything else that you're looking to conquer at this point? Besides being
Um,
this awesome entrepreneurial businesswoman that you are.
well, when I had so I had got diagnosed with bipolar, and I'm not embarrassed to say that. So that goes with the mental illness thing. And when I had a most recent episode a couple months ago, I kind of made some little impulsive decisions, and I started selling Pampered Chef, Monet, and Prove It. So I also sell those.
Okay, well, that's good to know as well. Yes.
Yeah, no, that's so between everything.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, and I work part time. I'm in 5 stores actually, and
Are you
I
really?
work part time at one of those stores as like a rent type thing. So I'm kind of working like 5 jobs.
Oh my goodness, look at you. Look at you. It will take off. I promise you. Especially the common sense. I think that's wonderful that you've got your candles in stores. That is amazing to me. And you have an Etsy store as well. And
Hmm.
when we get off here, if you want to send me the Etsy store, you can actually put it in the comments of our StreamYard if you like. And I will go ahead and add that as well. I can only pin one, so I'd like to be able to, pin your website if that's okay.
Oh yeah,
So the
definitely.
others we can definitely add to it. So that would be awesome.
Hmm.
So, all right. So, any last minute things you'd like to say?
No, I mean, I just sorry, I was writing my Etsy in here. There we go.
Take your time.
Um, I just I'm very excited to it's like waking up and knowing what path you want to go down, and it's a good feeling. I mean, I know what I'm in for with work wise, but I'm okay with it and I'm excited about it. So I have a lot of fairs and wedding expos planned for this summer, and I'll be quite busy, but I'm hoping my goal is to get my brand out there, more than the money, making money. It's more just get myself out there. I've been I've been going store to store with sample boxes that I've made, trying to get into new stores.
Are
And
you really? That's amazing.
that's the uncomfortable part about this whole thing, is that is my only it's not in my comfort zone to have to walk up to a store with a huge sample box and say, please pick me.
Well, you know what? And there's a thing in sales because I've been in sales for over 40 years, sales and customer service. So, and one of the things that we're told is get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Hmm.
And that's how you grow.
I've
You
heard
don't
that. Yeah.
grow by just staying within your little box, being comfortable and everything. You got to get outside that box and
Hmm.
do something that is just not you. It's not a you thing. So, but once you get comfortable with that, and you will, you're gonna have to go a step further and figure out what that uncomfortable spot is
Uh,
and go there. So,
yes.
but that's the way you keep growing. I'm very proud of you. I'm
Thank
just
you.
meeting you like first time like this, and I'm very proud of everything you've accomplished. I really am.
Thank
Kind
you.
of touched me a little bit. I'm so happy for you.
I just real quick before we end, I actually got this in the mail yesterday. So it was the first time I saw this um, in person, or I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but it's one of those feelings that you I did a live on my Facebook and I started crying because I was, it's you put your life into things and it's nice to see, like if you can take a breath and stop and look at the progress you've made, it's pretty awesome.
It's like where you are and where you are now,
Mhm.
and then your goal of going even further and helping all the people that you're looking to help.
Mhm.
That's absolutely wonderful. Erin, thank you so very much for this time.
Yeah, thank you
I
for having me.
I appreciate you. I absolutely do. And so, everybody, thank you very, very much for stopping by and watching. Erin is actually going to be in our Vendor of the Day event, which is called, I believe it's called Jump for Joy. Yes, Jump for Joy Jubilee shopping event. So please join us. It is between April 12th and April 25th. It's for 2 weeks. So by all means, stop by, see Erin, see everybody else, and reach out to her about the books that she has, or you can go to Amazon, just put in her name, Erin Lukey, and you'll be able to see the books that she has and purchase them. And I'm sure they're as amazing as she is. And
Thank you.
please stop by her Common Sense of all her candles and soaps. I know I'm going to when we're done with this interview and see what she's got there. Again, thank you so much, Erin. My name is Joanne Zagari of Blue Dove Marketing. If you think that you'd like to get your business in front of eyes of people who never knew you existed, give me a shout out. All right, everyone. We'll talk to you later. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you online. Bye now.